Hi, and welcome to another episode of Branding Tips Tuesday. My name is Alicia DeSantis. Today we're going to talk about color, your brand's color. One of the biggest issues I have with many folks that talk about color is that they lump colors all together into one. Yellow, red, green. If your brand uses yellow, it means this and this and this. That's not true. There are so many different varieties of color within one color type that you can't possibly assign a specific mood or emotion or effect to just one color without talking about all the different varieties of that color. For example, here's a color wheel. You have it broken down into 4 different components, and that's what so many folks fail to talk about. So you have hue. That's what historically we think of when we think of a color of, if your brand uses the color yellow, then this and this and this. But what about the tint? So that's the color with white. What about the tone? That's the color with gray. What about the shade? That's the color with black. All of these components are part of the value of the color, which can significantly change the mood and the experience your audience will have when looking at your brand's colors. So let's talk about yellow for a minute. Yellow is a really unique color for 2 reasons. One, it's the most visible color to the human eye. That's why so many high vis and warning signs are in yellow. 2, it's the only color that most colorblind people can see. So if you're red, green, or blue-green colorblind, you can still see yellow. But not all yellow is created equal, and not all yellow is the same. So let's dive in. Let's take a look at yellow here. So the other day, I encountered someone who was talking about yellow, saying it was a vibrant color that was full of energy. Yes, it is to some effect, but there's many varieties of yellow. So if you look at the tints section here, you'll see that butter yellow. It's a very different experience than more of the ochre, more of the chartreuse yellows that you have going on here. So it's not just about the pure hue of the yellow, it's about the different variety. Let's compare, for example, 2 industrial machining companies, Caterpillar and John Deere. They both use yellow, but look how different their logos and their brand colors appear. John Deere has this almost neon yellow, and Caterpillar has this warm honey yellow. Very different experience. So let's take a look at the financial services industry. I'm going to take a look at the color red used in a variety of credit union logos. Red is often described in a lump term as being passionate, vibrant, romantic. But again, that's only one type of red that's being referred to. You got to look at the full gamut. So let's look at Red Rock's credit union logo. They use a maroon style of red. It's very different than if you go over to Molokai logo, which uses an almost a coral red. And then if you compare this one to, let's say, North Shore Credit Union, which is a reddish orange, very, very different look. And what's more, if you compare it to, say, Pathfinder Credit Union, which was borders on rust, all of these colors are red, but they all have a very, very different emotional response when you look at them. So the danger behind lumping colors all together when you're talking about your brand visual identity is that you fall into a trap of being too generic in what you think the audience is going to experience when they look at your logo and your brand colors. So next time, Don't just think about the color, yellow, red, green. Think about the different components of that color in tone, value, shade, and tint. And that will give you a better understanding of the deep nuances that color can have on the human psychology. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.